Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a look here at Avax, double checking a few key factors here. We can see here specifically this 0.5 fib level is providing a lot of resistance for us. We're going to discuss that. We're also going to talk briefly, very briefly, actually I can just highlight that now, this previous resistance at 25.50 working as a nice support for that pivot. So if the price does ever end up pulling back, I think we're going to expect some support about 25.50. Just a future reference there, of course. But for the moment, what we want to look at, first of all, is the back-end data, kind of see what's going on here, and quickly double-check a couple of things. I want to say thanks to my community here for some excellent feedback. Glad the Cardano 21% and SUI 65% profit over the weekend worked out well for you. That's excellent news. We also have a partnership here with BTCC. It's a secondary exchange for us. No KYC or VPN required. Highly recommend checking them out. They have awesome rewards here right now for anyone in my community. So just future reference, check them out. They're actually really good alternative there to Bitunix. I love Bitunix. They'll always be my favorite. But I can tell you, it's helpful to have two different accounts, one for day trading, one for swing trading, so that way you're not like trying to pull from one to the other. It can be a mess. Always differentiate your accounts if you're going to be doing both. Having said that, let's take a look here at Avax. Is it worth a day trade? Is it worth a swing trade? That's the question I'm getting a lot. 24.50, we got some liquidation levels there, down about low as 23. Nothing super crazy here. This is standard liquidation level stuff. So these aren't really any outliers that you can be like, oh my gosh, it's going to do this because of liquidation. Not even close. We just got some loose areas here. I just say $25 roughly. Is that heavier concentration, more macro? We do, of course, have a lot between 19 and 20, but I think the probability of seeing that sub $20 mark is pretty low right now, especially considering how well Avax has responded to Bitcoin coming back online, right? Either way, unless Bitcoin comes back down to low 50K range again, I think Avax is pretty safe in that regard. We do have some decent support in the $22, $23 range. Having said that, let's look at the 4 hour. No, we'll do the 4 hour next. Let's do the daily first, kind of see what's going on here. When we look at the simple moving averages, we can kind of recognize a few things here. We're above both the 20 and the 50-day SMA. That's generally a very, very favorable sign. So pending, again, Bitcoin doesn't do anything obnoxious and pull back super hard, we should see that be the new bottom, this 2340 to 2350 range. Okay. Again, those are really good confirming factors. We're over 50 in the RSI. Very few coins can say that. Everything looks truly bullish here on the daily time frame. We've even breaking above zero here on the TSI, and we got a MACD convergence. A lot of those signs generally will point further higher. Okay, so generally speaking, at this point, we're looking pretty good. We're above all moving averages in the 4 hour time frame, equally as bullish. That's a very, very good sign. We got a previous fair value gap, a couple of them above the price action, as high as $26. We can see TSI slowing down, and of course, stochastics pulling back. MACD is starting to diverge. So keep in mind there is potential for the price action to start pulling back here. But generally speaking, when you see the price come up into like a range here, which you could argue this is somewhat of a range, right? You could even say that this is somewhat of a bull pennant pattern. Bitcoin's showing a very similar pattern, right? So in that sense, if that is the case here, I would say Avax is due to continue higher. Again, a lot of this is under the impression Bitcoin is looking stronger right now and more likely to increase than decrease overall as well. So you put all that together, there's more likelihood, I think that Avax will continue higher. And if we do kind of look at this chart here, let's kind of compare this with Bitcoin. It is similar in a lot of ways. So, we kind of recognize, in fact, let's look at the hourly and just see. So bull pennant, and yeah, they're very similar charts here. And again, the reason why I like to identify that is just because it's important to recognize, kind of similarities and dissimilarities from Bitcoin. Either way, Avax has performed well. It performed a lot better than Bitcoin did leading into its increase. So that is a good sign here overall for sustainability. We take a look at Ichimoku Cloud too. This is going to confirm we're above the cloud. That's good. That's going to reiterate that $23.40 support level. But it's also going to let us know too that with the lagging span being within the price action, it generally is construed as a no-buy zone. And even though the conversion line and the baseline are kind of close to each other, that's generally not a good sign either. So I'm not saying this is bad. Just saying in general, the macro looks great on this coin, but right now we're seeing this potential transition and slight potential for pullback here overall with AVAX. Okay, so again, the price does pull back. 2340 would be the initial support. Secondary to that, much further away, 2250. I'm just going to set an egregious alert here in case the price pulls back to that area. I may want to reevaluate and see if 2250 is a good consideration for a long. Because again, that's that previous resistance level. likely going to work as a support if we see it pull back to that level. I do think that's fairly low probability though. I do think we're probably going to see more potential for an increase here, especially with this kind of pattern. I mean, you look at this here, it's like it's an ascending type of pattern, no matter how you look at it. And generally speaking, these do break to the upside. Okay, so I think there's more and larger propensity for AVAX to do well and go higher. But just know, caveat here is if Bitcoin pulls back, AVAX may also as well, considering it's been kind of in this overextended state, like majority of the market right now. Okay, that in combination with Bitcoin dominance kind of plateauing, we're going to see here soon how altcoins respond to Bitcoin's movements. Be excited to see that. All right, thanks again, folks. I'll go ahead and post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. That's available here if you're curious. Future reference, BTCC, awesome exchange, link down below for that if you want to check them out. They are excellent. And then, of course, last but not least, if you're going to be part of our community, make sure you read through our trade signals, our signals guide rather, before you take my trades. And then trade alerts too. This is like a newer section I have available for you, just kind of giving you specific indications on coins that I'm planning to take trades with. So that'll be there too. All right, folks, thanks again for your time. I look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.